Do you have financial questions, folks watching out there in TV land and on the radio as well? Well, we have a team of financial experts here to answer your questions. Dave Ramsey brought along the whole Ramsey Solutions group with him this morning. Joining us right now, we got Dave Ramsey, Chris Hogan, Christy Wright, and Ken Coleman. Good morning to all of you.
Good morning.
Now, I mentioned the radio because as of yesterday officially, Dave, I think you're on channel 132?
Yeah, 132. We've got the Ramsey Solutions Network now. For 4 hours, and each of these guys have a show on there, and my show has always been on XM, SiriusXM, but
right.
So you can continue to get it there. But the Ken Coleman show launched yesterday for the first time. It's a real big day for us. We're having a lot of fun with it.
Okay, we've got we'll talk a little bit about each of you in a moment, but first we've got a whole bunch of questions from folks who've got questions for y'all. Dave, the first question comes from Michelle in Colorado. She writes, "I found out over the weekend that my information may have been impacted by the Equifax breach." Great. 100 million Americans were. What advice do you have for the victims of this incident?
You know, this is like one of the worst identity breaches we've ever had. We've had larger ones, but they got everything.
Yeah.
I mean, they got social security numbers, they got birth dates, they got everything they need to open a credit card falsely in your name now. It's 143 million Americans, and it's the third time Equifax has been hit. So I don't know how Equifax is going to recover from this. It's a huge hit on their credibility and on who they are. What you do is simply this. You freeze your credit bureau, you check it, and you buy identity theft insurance, and you buy the kind of identity theft insurance that's not simply monitoring. And you certainly don't take Equifax's free offer, which when you sign it now says, I can't participate in the class action suit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, that's nice. Yeah, so they really have screwed this thing up like 6 ways from Sunday. But so you don't do that. You get an outside, independent, third-party identity theft insurance. Well, I use Xander Insurance. Xander. That's who I buy it for all my team and my family and everybody. It's not that expensive, but they assign someone to the case if there's identity theft that does all the work for you. That's the big problem with identity theft. It's not it costs you money. It's you have to deal with all these dubes on the other end of the line in some phone center trying to get the mess straightened up.
Man, it is a mess. All right, good enough for that. Meanwhile, Chris Hogan, we got a question from Don from Minnesota. They ask, we have $30,000 in credit card debt. I can get a 401k loan to pay the balance and lower the interest rate. Should I do it?
Don, absolutely not. Here's the deal. I get this question a lot. You know, debt is a thief. It steals from you now as well as your later.
Right.
So I love the idea of getting out of debt and attacking it. But what you don't want to do, you've been putting money aside for your dreams, for retirement. So what you don't want to do is to stop that growth. Time and compound interest is what helps your 401k to grow. So here's what Don should do.
Okay.
Don should get intentional, tighten up his budget, take on an extra job, throw that money toward the debt.
What if he doesn't want to take on another job? He's pooped by the end of the day.
Listen, you gotta suck it up. You gotta get intentional, right? When you get tired of paying interest, you'll get over being tired. Keep more of your money. So attack debt, tighten up your budget, and then keep your 401k, leave it alone.
All right, good advice. Christy Wright, Megan, Alabama writes this. I would like to start my own business to help supplement my income. How can I figure out what type of business I should start?
So this is a great question, and there's never been a better time to start a business than right now. But what I want you to do is I want her to think about how she can set herself up to win. So make it easy on yourself to win. The best way to do that is start with what you have. So your stuff, your skills, your strengths. So what education or experience do you have? You know, what are your natural gifts and talents? What stuff? Maybe you have a swimming pool or a sewing machine or a computer that you could turn into a side or small business. And when you do that, what you're doing is you're lowering the cost and the risk and the barrier to entry into the marketplace. So it's much easier on you to win.
All right, so do what you know. Meanwhile, Ken, you got a question from Aaron down in Georgia. I work for a great company as a software tester, and I'm miserable. I'd love to get into finances and help people, but I can't go back to school right now. What should I do?
Well, Aaron, the first thing I want you to do is determine how much education or training do I really need to actually do the job that I want. And if you need more education, obviously that's not a reality right now. So I want you to be finding companies that are helping people with their finances where you can work in IT using some of those skill sets.
Right.
Now you're indirectly helping people. This is the proximity principle. In order to do what I want to do, I've got to be around people that are doing it and places where it is happening. So the good news, Aaron, you know what you want to do. Most people don't. So stay the course and do not quit.
All right. Dave, where'd you find these brilliant people to make you look good?
And don't they? I'm so proud of them. They're really good. Yeah, these are some of the world-class voices in their spaces, and they've done so well. A couple #1 best-selling authors, brand new XM show, and you've got to have something to say that helps people. And in our culture today, if you're just real and you just tell the truth and you're kind to people and you help people, all of a sudden things happen. It's pretty cool.
There's something very compelling. I've heard your Through the Air broadcast, Dave Ramsey show. There's, and my wife and I have been driving for hours, and we'll listen to the whole show from start to finish just
Yay,
because
thanks. I need the listeners.
It is so compelling just because every show you got stuff I've never heard before.
Yeah, it's people. I mean, people in lives, whether it's a lady starting her business or a guy with his career or somebody worrying about retirement. These are things we all deal with. They're things we worry about. They're things keep us up at night about our kids and our dreams and our fears. And it's just real life, and it's just rewarding.
What's he like as a boss?
You know what? First of all, he's not a boss. He's a leader. And there's a difference.
You're
he's one of
good.
those.
He's ready.
He is. He really is. He really is. He's authentic. Dave is who he is. He cares. He empowers us. And he's helped us to understand the power of hope.
Absolutely. Christy, it's got to be daunting, though. People are looking to you for advice on something that is so personal, and if they make a mistake, they could be in big trouble.
Well, here's the thing. When you teach them to start small and grow slow, those mistakes aren't so big. And that's why I love this whole movement of women stepping into their God-given gifts, because when you're starting side businesses and side hustles, the mistakes aren't huge, and you can learn and iterate as you grow.
Ken, he has built an empire. Don't screw it up.
Thanks, Steve. Hey, I had no pressure until that moment.
All right, so you can listen to the Ramsey Network of Experts on XM Sirius Channel 132
Yes, sir.
today.
Yes, sir.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Folks, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thanks. Good to be with you.